Where's the other intern? I like him better.
You never ride. How you doing, buddy?
My throat kills. I had to stop and grab calls, and then I had to fight the, what do you call it?
Traffic?
No.
The Sunday morning traffic?
The Sunday, Mother's Day, everybody getting a fucking card traffic.
Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Yeah.
There's something for you in the other room.
Okay. I really wanted you to trip. Was this all for me? They could at least put something on the mug. But I guess it's okay. You guys couldn't even spring for real cards? Really?
Happy Mother's Day.
Hey, now he's getting real.
Happy Mother's Day.
What do you call the butt?
I told her to get these to my mom. So.
What do you see? What's he?
People of Earth.
The name's Nukem, Duke Nukem.
This is Happy Tea Cat.
This is Albert Wesker.
I'm Hadsworth from Steam Powered Giraffe.
You're listening to The Rock Show on VoxVii.com.
Listen to Conrad and Lucas.
Take Geek Culture off the shelf and show it to you.
The spine from Steam Powered Giraffe says so.
Don't change the channel, 'cause I know where to find it, bud.
Hail to the king, baby.
Hello everybody, I'm Conrad.
I'm Lucas.
And thank you for watching Season 3, Episode 8 of The Rock Show, which you're hopefully watching on the VoxVii YouTube channel or VoxVii.com.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that came out to Game Day yesterday, which was the 9th? Was it 9th, guys?
Yes,
yeah.
9th.
So the people that came out to Game Day yesterday at Second and Charles, our sponsor, thank you very much for playing board games with us. We love teaching you guys those things. We'll see you. The next one is in July, I believe.
Yep, we also got to hang out with Lee Gaddis and actually play on his tabletopper gaming table, which was really awesome. And we reviewed Don't Be That Guy.
So check those videos out. They should be coming out this week, right, Corey? Yeah, so this week. Yeah, we had some fun.
Yeah.
What have you done this week?
I got a full-time position at my job in Port Huron, so now I'm a full-time radio DJ.
Radio personality. Right?
Talent,
Sweet.
actually, if you really want to get into it.
Okay, talent.
Thank you, Tom. Tom's being patient over here. We're going to get Tim in a minute. As always, we like to just ignore our guests for the first five minutes. So thank you for being
that's
patient.
cool. We've been rooting for you to get this job up in Port Huron. That means you're going to probably be leaving us, but not the show, just the area, right?
Yes, I'm going to have to move up to Port Huron, so I will be up there for probably 5-6 days a week.
But he's not going anywhere as far as the show. He'll be here, hopefully, right?
Yeah, from what I can tell. Cool. It seems like my PD in Port Huron is very accepting of my other position here. So yeah, so far so good. I get to work doing what I was trained to do for my entire life for full time now, for the first time ever. So I'm very excited about that.
Very cool. This week I actually was doing a lot of shopping, as I always do. And
what did you buy?
I bought about 30 old CDs.
For like $1 each?
No, 50 cents.
Oh, okay.
From Second and Charles. I also bought $100 in board games.
They have all sorts of cool stuff, by the way. SecondandCharles.com.
Yeah, check it out.
Great place to check out.
If you're here in the Michigan area, there's only one. It is near Great Lakes Crossing.
Yep, in Auburn Hills.
Off of Baldwin Road, going south off of 75. Look them up. They're SecondandCharles.com. But I was at Micro Center, and I had to pick up cards for the show here. And I found these. They're the Arduino open source electronics prototyping platform. I did that right. And I got it for $6. They're usually like $25. So I want to know if anybody out there uses these for anything, because I want to start a project. I have a good idea of what I want to do. I want to do like a retro Atari tanks. Remember tanks from the Atari?
Sure.
I want to put one of these in each of those.
Uh-huh.
That'd be really cool. Have a physical representation of that.
Rep of tanks.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
gotcha.
But if you guys have any other ideas of what to do with an Uno R3, yeah, an Arduino, let me know, because I want to know.
We know who probably
You
has really
$6 and you need to use it for
You know who probably has really good ideas
Who?
on what to our guest. Bet you
Oh.
money. He could probably tell
I
you
don't
what
know
to do
about
with that.
that,
I'm just
but-
saying. You
Yeah,
probably
let's
have some
introduce
ideas.
him.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom Nardone.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go. I'm getting really good at saying names.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being on the show, sir.
Thanks.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having me, guys.
You are a cool dude. You do all sorts of things, which is one of the reasons why we wanted to bring you in. First of all, you're local. You're from Birmingham.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, I used to live spent 15 years living right here in Ferndale.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And you're really passionate about helping the Detroit community. Like you really want to give back. One of the big thing you live your life by is doing something is way more than doing nothing. And tell us the stuff you do.
Yeah. So, well, I let's talk about that. Doing something is more than doing nothing. You know, everybody out there, I think everybody wants to do some volunteer work. I don't think I'm alone with that desire to sometimes give back. But I think people, one thing, people get prevented from starting. Like they never start their volunteer
I
efforts.
agree with that.
They hold themselves to too high of a standard. But in reality, the world needs help. You know, people out there need help, and so whether you're giving one can to a can drive or you're picking up one piece of trash or anything, it's way more than zero. And that's what I just try to tell people. Like, just do something, no matter how small it is. So if you get a flyer in the mail that there's a canned food drive, the Cub Scouts are coming around to pick up canned food, and you look in the cupboard and you only got 3 cans of Campbell's soup. Well, find the one that you don't like, and put it on the porch, because that little effort may seem like nothing to you, but as someone who leads the Cub Scouts, like I'm a Cub Scout den leader with my kids, and when you drive through the neighborhood, if those kids get 4 houses on a street versus if they got 1 house on a street, their mood could be ecstatic or kind of bummed out. So just every little bit it helps, That's how the world works. Everybody does their little piece and it adds to it. So try to find something to do for other people, no matter how small it is, and I think you'll feel better about yourself and the world will be a better place.
Very cool. I see you. I've been following you for a while.
Yeah, we're Facebook friends.
Yes. And it started off with your mower gang, but I see you because I did a lot of stuff in the Detroit community.
Sure.
And you build communities. I've seen that, and it's more than just he does this thing where he goes and so Detroit's not doing so well all the time, so we've not had money to mow our parks.
Really?
Yeah.
So he got a group. He started doing this himself.
Called the Mower Gang.
He's a gang in Detroit.
Yeah.
He has his own turf war.
I'm a gang leader.
Oh, come on. That's terrible.
But he got my friend started doing this also with you, and you guys go and mow parks.
Yeah.
And the kids love this.
Yeah, so the city of Detroit is massive, like on a land basis. Like
we talked about that actually last episode.
It's just enormous, way bigger than most cities. And there's 300 parks in the city. And some of them, just sort of fallen away. Like the city announced one time that there were 200 that they couldn't afford to keep open anymore. So they were closing them. But closing them just means they don't mow the grass anymore.
So the maintenance just kind of fell to the wayside.
Yeah, just nothing. They took the trash cans away, which, arguably the worst idea, right? Because the trash isn't going to stop. It just doesn't have any place to go, so it ends up in the ground. And then they just left it alone. And kids still live near some of these parks. But all they needed was a little bit of mowing and a little bit of trash pickup. So I figured, hey, I always wanted to own one of those lawn tractors. Like I'd sit on them at Home Depot and kind of go, So I and my company had a van, so I bought one off Craigslist, and I went to this park, which is right over here, a couple miles from here, and would just mow it every few weeks. I'd drive by, I'd see the grass was long, and I'd put the lawn tractor in the van and go out there, and she'd only take about an hour, and I'm out in the sun, riding around in circles. Like the thing had a cup holder on it, it was easy business. And so then I found that some of the parks were bigger. Some of the parks had really cool stuff in it. Like there's one with this abandoned velodrome, which is
Which is another community you built.
Which is one of these bank bicycle racing tracks. I mean, where do you find one of those, first of all? Where do you find an abandoned one that you could go and ride your mini bike on? Nowhere.
That's cool.
So only in Detroit. So I was like, I got to dig this out of the weeds. But it was going to take more than me. So I created a Facebook page and invited everybody sort of to come out to this big event and made it sound fun, even though it was really just mowing grass.
Basically, how any gang in Detroit gets started.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah.
Facebook.
Yes, no, or maybe. Accept, decline. Maybe I'll join that gang.
How big is the Mower Gang now?
It depends. Some events we get like 70 to 90 people, and we mow on Wednesdays after work, and usually we get about 20 to 30. Yeah, and about a third to half of those people will have some kind of lawn tractor, and that's fun. Those guys, like your friend, his friend Nick Meyer.
Yeah.
He likes lawn tractors. The guy wants to talk about lawn tractors. He likes working on lawn tractors. He likes finding a good deal on them on Craigslist. And there are people that like that. That's their hobby. So these guys have a place to go out and use them and talk about them and drink beer and hang out. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
This velodrome, you've also started a moped. Is it like a race?
Well, I didn't really
How's that
start
work?
that, but that started because a friend of mine I showed him the velodrome, and he was like, I got to start a race series here. So he started this thing called Thunderdrome.
Thunderdrome.
And it was like, it was nuts. I raced in it too.
Yeah?
And it was, I used to road race motorcycles when I was a young man like you guys. And that was kind of insane, but there's no more insanity than racing them at night in the middle of a city, like under like barely enough light. So it was pretty crazy.
And it's motorcycles or is it mopeds?
It was everything. It was like whatever you wanted to bring. They had people with like home built go-karts and mopeds and bicycles and mountain bikes and dirt bikes and who knows what.
So this is just the tip of the iceberg. On top of this, you're also an entrepreneur that owns a company called PriveCo. Right?
PriveCo, yeah.
PriveCo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been doing that for a while. I used to be an engineer. I used to work for Ford Motor Company. And then I came up with this business idea. I wrote business plans for Ford. And my parents were entrepreneurs. So I came up with this business idea when the internet was really new, that people would buy things that were embarrassing to buy in person, they'd buy them online. And so I started selling like hemorrhoid creams and dependent undergarments and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the first website was called Shop in Private, because you could shop in private for these things. Mm-hmm. And it took off, been written up in the Wall Street Journal and all sorts of things like that. And so I have this business, and that business has grown to acquire other businesses that sell things privately. Mm-hmm. The big thing about our company that differentiates it from everybody else that sells things online is we don't. Not only do we send things in a plain brown box and bill you privately, but also we don't have any email lists at all. So there's no newsletter. Period. It's not like you can opt out or opt in. It just doesn't exist at all. So
That's
people like
cool.
that private thing about it. We sell all sorts of weird stuff. I brought some things.
Yeah, I want to see because
Please.
you've given us a taste of them. I want to see what these are.
Sure. Well, I brought some of the more PG things because
Very
Shop
cool.
in Private is like all over the map.
Yes.
Anything embarrassing.
There's some adult
Yeah.
stuff on his website
Yeah.
for those of you that are 18 and above.
Yeah.
Guys, you can go check it
Heads
out.
up.
Can you tell you the website?
Oh, well, yeah, Shop in Private's the first one, but
Shop in
my
Private.
company, but Shop in Private ended up acquiring vibrators.com.
So vibrators.com.
So if you want a private way to buy a vibrator, vibrators.com is the most
Go
private.
There you go.
But we're
I
not
checked it
showing
out. No, I'm not bothering you.
We're not showing you anything for vibrators.com.
Okay.
But you understand.
Absolutely.
I think everybody gets it.
Yeah,
We
everybody
have-
gets
We
it.
don't have to go into detail
Yeah.
about that.
No.
If you don't know what that is, ask your parents.
Yeah. So I brought some weird things. We scour like the whole world for weird things.
How do you scour? That's what I want to know. What do you do? Do you
I
just,
like travel, or I
Okay.
ask friends that travel, or I look at websites, or I actually pay like e-lancers in different countries to tell
Really?
me. Like I have a question, I send them. Usually I look for someone who translates. So if you're in India and you translate Hindi to English, I figure you probably have a good grasp of both languages.
Yeah.
So then I will send them an email saying, here's an assignment, it's 5 hours long, so it costs me like $50. Just look at the Indian market for all of these things, and this is where we'd find such things in the USA.
That's really neat.
Like what you're holding now is from Japan.
This
Yes?
one's, this is Japanese.
Japanese, yeah.
And this is a snore stopping device.
I think Will could
Will
use
needs this.
Will.
Yeah, Will's a snorer.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if it works or not. I don't think it does, to be perfectly honest with you. Which is true about a lot of Shop in Private things.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bring them in and we'll say, we don't think this works, but if you want to buy it,
You make it available.
we make it available to you.
very
And it's funny because the same products often appear in other places where they guarantee it will work, and they'll make all these superlatives about how great it is, but they're only selling that one thing, like the infomercial model.
Uh-huh.
They'll say how wonderful this oven is that'll cook a turkey in 5 minutes. They never mention that it's not insulated. It'll heat your whole house up to 1,000,000 degrees. So this is a snore stopper. It clips right here in your
Inside the
septum.
nose?
Yeah, in your septum.
Okay.
Ouch.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
Terribly,
It
I
doesn't.
think.
I think is the answer. Yeah, terribly, right?
Yeah, right? That does not look that great. But
All right,
Yeah.
this one's from China, and apparently in China, when you pop your zits, you use one of these things. It's a very common product, and it does two things. One is it gives you more traction. I've talked to the person who was answering the question, couldn't tell me why exactly Chinese people use a little finger cover to pop their zits.
Yeah.
But one is it provides more traction.
Okay.
And then the second is it keeps the germs off your finger. So
I
that's
suppose, are they germaphobes in China?
No, God, no. China's. I go to
Do
China
they
a
only
lot.
use
They're
one of
dirty.
these? Do you need to buy two?
I know, they just use one. I think it's
They
got so
use
much
the Eastern
traction.
method, just one finger instead of the Western method, which is two.
I didn't know.
I
that.
have no idea.
I was gonna say, you're from the Philippines,
You
man. I don't know.
totally-
You can be messing
you totally
with me.
made
I
that
had
up.
no
Yeah, totally made
idea.
that up.
That was awesome.
But
That was good.
yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool.
This is a product called Subtle Butt.
I love the design of these products too.
Yeah,
Look at this. Just the product design.
This is one of my favorites, Subtle Butt. I don't know why that makes me laugh, because Subtle Butt.
Yeah.
It's just funny. Like the word subtle is
We're
spelled
just
in a real way.
teenage boys at heart.
It almost has butt in it, you know. But these are fart filters. You stick them in your underpants, and they will filter out the fart smell.
Are they scented as something else, or they just neutralize
they're carbon filters. These work. We tested these in the office.
It's
hilarious.
Tom Nardone guaranteed that these work.
Yeah, these definitely work. We literally, we all were like, let's do a subtle butt test. Tomorrow, everyone eat the smelliest food you can. So I was eating, kimchi. I ate a bunch of kimchi. And then other people were eating cauliflower.
Did you have an intern that had to do the smell test?
No, we were just trying. I sit in a really small office, and it was like, this works, man. I swear this works.
Are they comfortable?
They just stick in your underpants.
Right?
You don't even
Yeah. A butt filter called
filter.
Subtle Butt.
You get 5 of them.
And it actually works.
Yeah, they're like $9.99 for 5, I think. So they're not.
Such
they're
a
value
deal.
price.
So that's a great thing for a first date. If you have that.
I'm nervous. Yeah, except if you get lucky, you got to explain what just felt.
That's my subtle butt. Just don't ignore that.
Just ignore that. For the benefit of us both, honey. This is
I thought of you.
Yeah, it's just I'm a considerate man. Mm-hmm. This is a dribble stop. Should I just stop there?
No, what is it? Tell us what it is.
No. I'll ask you again. This is called the dribble stop. Do you want me to?
What's it looking for?
Obviously, it prevents you from double dribbling in NBA basketball, right?
Yeah, no.
No?
It's after prostate surgery, some older men, now we're talking about older men.
Okay.
They lose the ability to
stop dribbling.
Stop their urine flow. So this is a clamp.
Oh my god.
No, absolutely. Let's talk about this.
Yes.
Because a rubber band is just not enough.
Exactly.
Don't cut off circulation.
Is a padded clamp, so it allows circulation.
So it's comfortable while pinching your member.
That's right.
Okay.
I've never actually seen this on a package. I just noticed it. It says 100% Canadian made.
Well,
I've never seen that.
So you got that good old Canadian quality.
But it is sold worldwide.
Have you had to test this one out?
No. But this is from actually a reputable medical company. It's an actual medical device. It's not inexpensive either. This is like $120 or something.
Oh.
Dribble stop.
Wow. Very cool.
Speaking of dribbling, but that's for men, so we're an equal opportunity company. Actually, most of the things we sell are women's products. But
like this one?
This is called the Go Girl, and it is so that you can pee standing up.
As a female.
Yeah.
Is it reusable?
That one is a reusable one. We also make one that's made of paper that's disposable.
Tagline is, don't take life sitting down, go girl. Go girl allows women the convenience of urinating while standing up. It's clean, portable, discreet, and reusable. You can use it while camping, boating, travel, festivals, and sports.
I think we should do commercials.
What's funny is that directly behind the camera I'm talking to is the only girl on our show, Amy. So...
Hey, Amy, would you use one of these?
She would not.
Say if we're all going camping.
Which we all probably will.
We will all probably go camping in the next couple months.
No.
For she's comfortable with
When I comment, do I get to go?
Yeah. Just you got to bring enough Go Girls for all of us.
All right, so this product was first to market, the Go Girl, and it's a rubber funnel. And so someone in our office tried it out, and it was handy. They went to DMF, Electronic Music Festival, and they,
that's where you would find these, honestly.
Yeah, the Porta Johns, and there's, Porta Johns are all peed all over and everything.
Yeah,
it is gross. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, Sydney's terrible at
So she uses it, and then she realizes she's holding a pee-soaked funnel in her hand, and she has to find some place to rinse it out. So then she had to take it to the hand wash station. First of all, you're holding it, so then you have to put on your pants and belt and everything while with one hand because you're holding
That's why
this
the
thing.
paper ones would be...
So that's why now there's a company that makes paper ones so that you can just dispose of it.
Because you cannot flush
this is better for the environment.
Yeah, reusable.
Yeah.
And you can't flush it, though. And it's also made in the USA.
You know what else is good for the environment? Sitting down to pee.
I guess so, ladies. So
Better either way. Better either way. No plastic device.
We should buy one of these off them and try to do it for one of our filler commercials.
Yeah. All right. Last one. For Cut Private. For the guys, the Slim and Lift.
I'm getting this.
So this is a device. It's like Spanx for guys, right?
Okay.
We before Spanx, we sold another. We still sell some butt lifting lingerie. It's called Bubbles.
That's amazing.
And lifts your bum. And it's actually Spanx is for women who are too big. That want to look slender.
Yeah.
Bubbles is not only for women that are too big. They have the stuff that if you're too big, but they also have if you have no butt. They sell this thing that makes you have a butt, including a padded underwear.
Very nice.
Yeah, and we sell padded underwear for men, but it's the front.
The other
Gotcha.
side.
But oddly enough.
But this is a slim and lift. And it has like the strakes in it to make you look like you have a six-pack,
I'm going to put that on.
What size is this?
This one is, I think it's Asian extra large, which is probably like
Asian extra large.
American medium.
Okay, so probably my size. I could probably, which I'm not going to, but I could.
I love how he said it's Asian extra large.
Yeah, well, when we go over there, to buy all the stuff.
We could have our intern wear this, maybe. There you go. Yeah, he's already flexing over there. He's for it.
That's funny.
So just a plethora of products.
Yeah,
not only
we have like 1,500 weird things. It's a fun place to.
And PriveCo, you think that maybe you would go towards that area, which you do. But I mean, you also, we could have all of these on our show and not offend anybody. It's just
these are legitimate things.
Yeah,
these are legitimate cool things.
Yeah, they're just
products
really
that people
interested
need,
in
but
this.
might not be that proud of needing.
And the other thing is, you don't want a reminder. Like, you don't want the company, you don't want to buy Go Girl from like Amazon.com and have them send you an email 2 months from now saying, we suggest, you bought the Go Girl, we suggest
exactly.
the who knows what.
The GoPro Girl.
Yeah.
Or every time you're on Amazon, it's just like all these things that you don't
They all show up in your order history.
Yeah.
It's not over on your Facebook feed on the side with ads.
Yeah. We just
no cookies here.
Nothing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Just you get in. It's it's very fairly priced. We're very good price on everything.
And what's really cool, it's a Michigan company.
Yeah.
And you're straightforward.
Yep.
Like, if something might not work, you're like, hey, this might not work.
Yeah,
but
there's an 800 number to call.
It's pretty much a paperclip for your nose, guys.
Yeah. And then, we try to be a good company. We've been in business for over 16 years. So,
wow. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, nice people work there. Everybody's helpful.
But this didn't stop you because you went even farther.
Yeah. So this business is spun off a number of websites, and then
you now have something called. You're the creator, the inventor creator of Bullet Safe.
Yeah,
which is a new product that you've been working on.
That's right. So I was an engineer. That was my background, and I got into this internet company, and then but that I guess it didn't keep me busy enough. So then I started a bulletproof vest company. The vest came on the market about 2 years ago, but it took about 2 years to get it out. Okay. And so this is a bullet-safe bulletproof vest. It looks, I guess, a lot like other bulletproof vests, except this one's got a bunch of bullets in it, just to show.
Yeah, I don't know if you could see this, guys, but bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole, bullet hole.
Yeah, cool. I actually made them in a heart for you guys to show everybody.
That.
And the difference between our bulletproof vest and others is price. There's a lot of bulletproof vests are worn by police officers, and those vests are bought with public money. The federal government pays half, and then the rest is usually paid by the city or town. So they like really nice bulletproof vests. They wear them all the time, and they want the best of the best. So they generally spend between $850 and $1,100 a vest. It's a lot of cash.
Okay.
And what has happened is the whole bulletproof vest market is up in that stratosphere. And that has priced a lot of people out of the market. And security guards, people that fill ATMs or armored truck drivers, people that serve process servers, bail bondsmen, those type of guys, repo men, they can't afford them.
Arguably people who could also need a bulletproof vest.
Absolutely, yeah.
People working on an Eminem music video.
Yeah, sure. So that's our target market. And so this is sort of like the Model T Ford of bulletproof vests. It comes in one style, this style here. It's the highest level you usually see in soft armor, which is a 43A, which will stop a 44 Magnum.
What's that mean? Oh, okay.
44 Magnum. So it'll stop almost all handgun rounds. Okay. And it sells for only $299.
Really? That's amazing. Now, what is the big difference in price? Like, why can you make this so cheaply?
Well, there's a couple reasons. One is we eliminated all the complexity from the process. So our vests are made in large batches instead of custom made. Police officers get custom fitted. Oh. So these come in small, medium, large, extra large, 2X, and then there's a 4X, which is a little bit more money. And they come in one configuration just like this. Sometimes police officers this is a pouch for a rifle plate. Okay. And there's a pocket in the back, front and back.
For extra protection.
Yeah, oftentimes police officers won't get that, but then they'll have a separate carrier in case they want that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do get it. Sometimes they want different pouch configurations, different pockets, different sizes, all the sorts of things sewn in, badging, all of that. We don't do any of that work. We just ship a plain vest. You can order it any color, but we send only black ones. So, and we stack them deep and sell them cheap in Troy, Michigan.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Can I try this on?
Yeah, sure. This is,
Okay,
I believe this is an extra large. Yeah.
Okay,
it'll
I'll
swim in it.
flex when I'm in it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Can I stand up?
Yeah.
There you go, right over.
Okay.
See, and it's extra large. Mostly I market as security guards, so it's even way too big for that. Yeah.
Do you feel safe now?
I do. Punch me. Harder.
That's quite the shot.
More harder. I wasn't expecting that one. I'm joking. No, this is, yeah.
Yeah, they weigh anywhere between 5.2 and 6.4 pounds.
Yeah, this is really light.
That's not heavy.
No, not at all.
It's made out of the same materials. We didn't reinvent bulletproof vests. Made out of the same materials as almost
You just found a way to make them efficient and
made them
affordable.
efficiently, yeah.
Which is amazing.
And then our sales process is different. We don't have to go into police departments and measure someone's belly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just have a height and weight chart online. What size do you need?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, it's going very well.
Is there a website they can go to?
Yeah, bulletsafe.com, of course.
Bulletsafe.com.
Yeah. You want to see this?
I do, because this
Yeah,
is
this is
awesome.
cool.
You wore this in today, and I had no idea that this was a bulletproof hat.
Yeah. So this, I can't really say this is an invention. It's a business model that
Absolutely.
I invented, right?
Yeah.
But this, apparently, I invented something.
Nobody has ever
Which,
thought of this.
people kept asking us with this product if we were going to do a helmet, because some police departments buy those like riot helmets, and they're expensive.
Yeah.
And so they're all asking us because they want a cheaper riot helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of our retailers that sell these are Army-Navy stores, because that's where security guards shop.
Yeah.
So I would go into these Army-Navy stores, and every one of them would have like 20 old Army helmets on a shelf, and they'll stop bullets. And they're all for sale for like $50, you know. So you can go into an Army-Navy store and for like $50 to $100 buy yourself an Army green bulletproof helmet. So when someone says to me, "Are you going to make a cheaper helmet?" I know for a fact that my Army-Navy stores aren't going to sell it because they got all these $50 ones. So why are they going to sell like a $400 brand new
Yeah.
one? No one's going to buy that. So I was like, oh well, no, we're never going to make a helmet. So then I was watching the Ferguson thing, and the police put on those helmets, and they just look like that's it. They're just giving up. Like nothing says we are not talking today. Like
Then a visor in front of your face.
like a riot helmet.
Yeah.
You know, like that says it's over. Like start throwing rocks, essentially, you know, and just start the riot at that point because they don't care and nobody cares. That's how fights happen. So I said, well, maybe we should make like a bulletproof baseball cap. So it's a baseball cap, and it has this panel inside. Pull it out. This is we're getting really close to production with it. So this is what the panel looks like. So it only covers your
Forehead.
like the front third of your head. Yeah.
Okay.
But it will stop. This one stopped to 45 the other day.
Another bullet hole right here.
Yeah, there's a hole right there. Yeah. Yeah, this
That's
one was.
cool.
We shot a really cool video.
And the thing is you can wear that all the time.
Yeah, you can wear it all the
because
time.
it's just a cap.
Yeah, it's light. Feel.
Yeah, it's, oh
The
wow,
whole
that is
hat.
very light. What is this?
It's a high molecular weight polyethylene.
Oh,
it's
wow.
compressed.
And there's a bullet in here right
yeah,
now.
This is the 45 slug.
So
right now.
this thing works.
You can hear it rattling around.
That's cool. Check this out.
Yeah. So this will be out in the fall. It's not very expensive, about $129.
That actually stopped a bullet.
This could be a game changer for
we're getting a lot of
all
press.
of law enforcement and everything. Because I mean, it just didn't think about this. I'm actually very surprised that no one has.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So I
'Cause-
came up with the idea, and I was like, oh, someone must have done this before. But this compressed polyethylene technology is fairly new. They're using it to make lighter and lighter rifle plates, but no one, and people have tried to make bulletproof hats in the past out of this flexible material. But what happened was the bullet got hit, and the flexible material just caved in and basically went into your skull.
Fractured your skull.
Yeah. But when I was like, okay, well, couldn't we make it out of the compressed and this and that was basically my thinking process. It sounded exactly like that in my head. Actually, it wasn't even a complete sentence. And so I looked into the patent of it, and apparently I invented it. So
That's
isn't that
cool.
funny?
Congratulations.
So
Sometimes
can you put it in
something
any
seems
hat
right.
then, or
What's it? Yeah, we'll be able to put it in custom hats. That
I'd
type
say
of stuff.
baseball caps, trooper hats.
Oh, probably just baseball caps. It's
Okay.
sort of shaped as a... Baseball caps actually have a lot of space right here.
Yeah.
There's two types of baseball hats. There's some called structured, and see, I'm learning these things. And then there's the ones unstructured. The unstructured is one of those floppy ones like your grandpa wears. And then the structured ones are the like higher, tighter ones that look more like I don't know, neater.
Yeah.
That are more popular with like younger people. And they look like a higher quality hat, like one you'd pay like $40 for with
From
a
like
tie
lids,
on it.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
lids. Those are almost all structured hats, and they have a bunch of space right up in here.
you could get a deal with lids here in the Detroit area.
Yeah.
Lids, call this guy.
Yeah, Lids is a chain. They're all over.
He'll hook you up.
Yeah. So that'll be out soon. We did a Kickstarter for this, and we raised a bunch of money.
saw that.
$11,000. Yeah. It was our goal was $3,500, and we raised 11 grand. So
Now, are you selling the hats themselves, or are you just selling the insert?
You can buy the whole. We want to ship whole hats, so we make sure they're put in the right spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
So no,
But then
no
you can-
possible user error.
Yeah, and then you could take it out if you want to fiddle with it after that. But, yeah, and you need to take it out to launder it.
And how
Or
much?
it's like a hat.
How much are these going for? Do you think?
$129.
Really, it's
Yeah.
not bad to make sure you don't get shot in the forehead.
Yeah, if you're a police officer, you can, like I said, you can wear it all day, every day. I did a charity race. I was out at a security trade show in Las Vegas, so I did a charity race wearing one. You know,
We had
I ran 3 miles as fast as I run 3 miles wearing a hat.
There's a member here that's a filmmaker out from LA. He moved here, and he was working on Eminem's video.
Oh yeah,
And that's why I made that comment. Somebody drove by,
oh yeah,
shot it up.
oh yeah,
He's like, I've never been shot at, not even LA, and I get to Detroit.
yeah.
It's like,
It's true. You can't compare.
you need to
LA
get a hat.
Detroit, yeah.
You need to get a hat.
We during the Ferguson riots, we outfitted everybody. Fox News,
Really?
CNN, all of those people. Yeah, they call up the office.
It's amazing with the hats or with these.
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 Yeah, because the hats is a new
Yeah,
product.
hats are
Yeah.
brand
So
new.
what's next for you? Because you this is not just everything you've done. I've seen other
No,
stuff
no,
that you've
no,
done.
no. I
You
had
can't
something
really-
new. I wanted to bring it in, but I couldn't bring it in. It didn't fit in the car.
Well, can you talk about it?
Yeah, I'll talk.
Let's talk
I'll
about it.
right
What is
in.
it?
Go nuts.
Okay, well, first of all, it's just an idea, but I have to make sure it's quality before we'll sell it. And I have 2 things to talk about, but this is the most fun one. We're going to call it the Patroller X2, and it's basically a Segway knockoff.
Okay.
It's out of China, and it's basically a Segway that is not a Segway brand Segway.
Wow.
And it is less than half the price, and it has more range. They claim it has 50% more range, but I'm gonna find out for sure.
You test it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it looks. I just got it on Friday. They sent me. They're out of China, Chinese company. They make them in China, and so I paid for 2 of them just to get them in and test them out, take some photos, that type of thing. And they came in on Friday, so I rode it home, on Friday, and everybody's like, "Hey, Segway! Hey!" So obviously it looks just like a Segway.
Oh, it looks just like one?
It looks like the off-road model. Do you know the
yeah,
Segway?
yeah.
Yeah.
With the bigger tires?
Yeah.
Does it go off road as well?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, if you can, I'm learning about it. I've only fallen off of it once, doing stupid
We
stuff.
need these things for convention.
About to say that would have been awesome if you would have brought that. We could have gotten.
I know. It's not super lightweight. The Segway isn't either. It weighs a little under 100 pounds, so you can move it around, but it's tricky. And the Segway off-road Segway is like $8,500, and
Wow.
on-road the urban Segway is like $6,600, and this thing's gonna be $29.95.
So less than half the price.
So do you rebrand it once it comes to the country?
we're going to be calling it the Patroller X2. So that's going to be our
So
brand.
under your security line then?
Yeah, this is what we're doing with it. We're not selling it to. I mean, you could buy it if you're a regular person, but we are currently selling vests to airport groups, security groups, police groups, and these people are Segway buyers. But the pricing of Segway is out of hand. It's really
They cornered the market early.
But they never got it right.
No.
Because it was too expensive. We just did a survey, so it's just out at the security trade show. I come up with a lot of this stuff out of trade shows. Like I meet people and, hey, what else do you buy? So what else do you buy? That's the good question. You meet someone and you've done your transaction. They order some vests and I don't know what else to say. So I would say, hey, what else do you buy? And they, I'm trying to buy Segways, but those things are so flippin' expensive, you know? I say, wow, how much do they cost? And it's like, well, the cheapest off-road model you can get is $8,500, but by the time they put the police lights on, it's $11,000.
Oh my goodness!
So, I mean, I don't have to hear that more than once before I start thinking like,
you can do that better.
$11,000.
Yeah.
Like I have to ship you a pallet full of bulletproof vests to get $11,000. I can tell you one thing with 2 tires on it for that. So and then so we look into it that way. So I'm excited about the project. Essentially, before I worked at Ford, I was a test engineer for a helicopter company. That's where I did the ballistics work, and I'm looking forward to being like doing the engineering tests over the summer on the Patroller X2. I like to call them the Chegway, Chinese Segway, but I'm supposed to drop the brand name, Patroller X2.
So the Patroller X2 is going to be available through Bullet Safe once it's all.
It'll be its own venture.
Okay.
Like we our salespeople, like when we call people to sell bulletproof vests, we will be selling these things. When we do a trade show, like at a trade show, I don't know if you've ever been to one.
Yeah.
You rent this 10x10 booth, and like I just spid one where my 10x10 square, that's like a bathroom size square, was $14,000.
Yeah.
$14,000, you know? And I'm standing there and I only make bulletproof vests and hats. So I have like a mannequin with a hat and a vest on. And I swear I got half a booth open. And the Patroller X2 is going to have... Oh, I forgot to tell you also how I got into the business as well. So I was asking the guy who was spending $11,000 on Segways. I said, well, does it have a bulletproof shield on it? He's like, no, you should make one. So then I called up Segway and said, hey, we can make a bulletproof shield for your Segway. And the guy says, oh, yeah, people ask for that. So I'm like, hello.
If they ask for that, why don't they make that happen? Yeah, good for you.
Sign me up. So we had 6 months before the next trade show, and I had my $15,000 booth that's half full. That I know it's going to be half full. And they don't have a booth. Segway doesn't have a booth. So I said, well, if you get me a Segway, I'll stick a shield on it, and I'll put it in my booth at the International Security Conference, and we can make some money. And the guy goes, yeah, that sounds like a decent idea. But then Segway couldn't get off their ass. They couldn't. All they had to do was lend me a Segway.
Not even give it to you. Lend it to
me in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Which
like there's not a Segway in Las Vegas, Nevada to spare for 3 days.
Blart Mall Cop. They just had a bunch of them in it.
Yeah. So they couldn't get off their ass. Can I say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when
especially if it's accurate, it sounds like it is.
I was like, I bet my friends in China could get me a freaking Segway, and then sure enough, I found out that they can, and they want a dealer in the United States, and. You know, and they want to sell them for $3,000. I said, geez, $3,000. Wow, that's very so cool. Then now I just got to figure out if they're any good.
Cool.
So I have 2 of them, and my nephew and I are going to be driving around. If you guys ever want to ride them, I put out an offer. Lucas knows I put out an offer to all my Facebook friends. Said, I'm trying to put as many miles on these things in as short a period as possible. So come over to my house and take them for ice cream or something like that.
Could be a funny video.
Could be a funny video.
Where's our producer? Corey.
He's in the bathroom.
Corey, could be a funny video. There you go. He wasn't here for that part of the conversation.
He invited us over for Segway training.
No, for not Segway training.
Just for Segway using.
Oh yeah, just go.
To get ice cream.
The T Patrol one.
Patrol or X2.
Can we put on all the gear and just patrol your neighborhood?
Yeah, if you want to. Birmingham.
Feel invincible.
Birmingham. You'll be riding around Birmingham with bulletproof vests on.
No,
the cops will arrest you for that.
Now we were talking about Bullet Safe, and you said you were going to tell us why you decided to go into this. Why you decided to go into inexpensive security with all the safety.
I felt people were. I felt. Well, when I worked at the helicopter company, I worked on this. They switched the fuel tank liners of the helicopters from Kevlar to polyethylene.
Okay.
And they saved, the price dropped 70%. Not to 70% of its original. It went to 30% of its original cost. And at that time, a bulletproof vest cost $1,000, and they were all made out of Kevlar. So over the years, after doing all the ballistics testing, I'm not much of a gun guy, but you learn something and then you sort of follow it. So I followed what was going on with bulletproof vests, and they used to be $1,000 when I was in the helicopter business in the early 90s. And guess what? They were still $1,000, but they weren't made out of Kevlar anymore. They were made out of polyethylenes. So I was like, well, wait a second. What happened to all the cost savings? And then I looked into, could I make a $300 bulletproof vest? And I looked at all the costs of everything, and the answer was yeah. So then I said, all right, well, if I make a $300 bulletproof vest, anyone going to buy it? And then we did some market research. not formal stuff, just informal. And then I realized people want to buy these things, you know. There's this big market for used bulletproof vests.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know
Army
that.
Navy stores
By
sell.
used, I mean shot already?
Old. They age out. They have a 5-year life.
Oh, really?
What happens to them after 5 years?
Well, they're supposed to be destroyed, but a lot of cops and people like that sell them to Army Navy stores, and then they sell them and they're not under warranty, and honestly, there's no guarantee they work.
So how come the 5 years they have to be destroyed? Do they become less efficient?
Yeah, the materials aren't as durable against UV light and sweat.
Okay.
So they just don't last. You know, they're made out of plastics. You guys know, and they have a strength requirement. So, you know, like your bumper cover on your car, like especially if it's like the black untreated plastics, you know, they sort of start to fade and things like that. Well, not only are they faded, but they're a lot less strong than they were originally.
Okay.
So in order to, you know, make sure that, you know, things are still going to stop bullets, like bulletproof vests can't work halfway, you know, so the National Institute of Justice puts a lifetime on them.
Which is 5 years.
5 years.
Bullet safe is same thing? 5 years?
Thing.
Okay.
Yeah, same materials as everything else. Yeah, so we were like, wow, all these Army Navy stores are selling used vests, so they'll sell a new vest for the same price with a warranty and insurance and everything. So it has been an easy. That was a big launch for the company. We were trying to sell by calling one store after another, and then we did the Army Navy store trade show, and they just like
Flocked
to us. Well, not really. But
So what's
one guy asked me if he could pay cash, and I was like, he's like, do you have a cash discount? I was like, okay. I've been in business 15 years. No one ever gave me $2,700 in cash before. I was already successful, right? I already, already financially successful. But when someone hands you $2,700 in $20 bills, that's like that much money, And he just had a suitcase full of it. Like, all right, I'll take that.
Did he own a Navy store? Or
Yeah. He's still my customer, but
okay.
But he was apparently just goes to this Las Vegas trade show and he asked for big discounts with cash.
Okay.
I didn't give him a big discount, but he wanted the product
Yeah.
really well. I just gave him what the credit card company
That's
would
cool.
charge.
What about Joe's Army Navy? Do they have them here?
Yeah, Joe's has it.
I'm gonna go check it out.
Yeah. Harry's in Dearborn is our #1 retailer in the country.
Really?
Yeah,
There you go.
they sell a lot of it.
Free plug.
Yeah.
Is it security they're selling it to?
Yeah, security officers. Yeah, and then like Detroit transit cops and anyone who works like the Detroit Riverfront festivals, like when the fireworks happen, Harry's will sell 30 vests.
Wow.
Yeah, they
That's
get all
very cool.
volunteers.
Do you know if Bullet Safe is going to branch into maybe riot gear or any other type of body armor?
No, the hats. We have
Yeah,
this and the plates.
this.
We have a couple. We make a canine police vest.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Yeah, and then we have so we're just stuff like that. We're just working on that existing customer. Last year we lowered the wholesale price, which is like what our retailers pay for the vests. Like we worked all year and we lowered it $2, so they make $2 extra.
Nice.
So that's really, we're just trying to keep
cool.
ahead of like the material cost rises and all of that sort of stuff to keep the price at $2.99.
So you say you're a big nerd. We're Nerd Geek Show.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm here, right?
All the entrepreneur and inventing and creating aside, what are some things that you are a big fan of?
Oh, what do I like your Arduino thing? Like I read Make Magazine, and I wish I always skip those articles, but I wish I could like sort of tinker with that.
Do you have one?
No, I don't. No.
Here, take this one.
No,
you can have this one because I'm buying like 6 more.
Are you?
Yeah, take that.
right.
I want to know what you come up with. Just keep me in the loop.
No, I'm not going to come up with anything good. That's the thing.
You'd be
because
surprised.
I don't have the time.
He comes back with a robot that's bulletproof.
No, there's
It makes
some,
a
no.
Johnny
I'm
Five.
gonna let you out. This is why there'll be a day when I like. The reason I'm fascinated by this is because I work on computers all the time.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I have for years. But I'm a mechanical engineer by trade, right?
Mm-hmm. So,
and like in my spare time, I do mechanical things. And but there are very few people that can bridge the gap.
Yes.
Like when I'm an older guy than you are, but when I was a kid, we had like Apple IIe computers in school.
No, I had those.
And they actually had like inputs that you could input. Like I remember measuring like thermistors for temperature with the computer and like graphing it all. And then I went on to college and went to work as a test engineer, and the amount of equipment required to get the analog signal from these measurements into a computer was huge. And then now almost everything either works virtually or they work physically, but not a big connection between the two. You know, like that. People who do robotics do it, but like just regular people don't. Yeah. Like crafters and things like that. Like there's no computer. Like I have a sewing machine to sew prototypes for vests and stuff. Yeah. It has no connection to the virtual world at all. It could be a 1910 sewing machine. You know.
Really.
Yeah, but there's some, and I don't know what that connection is, but there's something there, and there's very few people that can do that. So I'm fascinated by that type of stuff. I think
it's neat. I'm just getting into it.
Yeah.
So they do little workshops here to teach kids and whoever wants to come in how to use these things. So we'll see what happens. It's a fascinating place.
I was telling you when you were giving me the tour of I3, I was saying, man, if this place was here when I was in my 20s, like I would save up all year to buy, some piece of equipment that I could have just had here,
used here, rented here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great spot. You guys can check it out. It's i3detroit.com or .org. It's either of those.
Mm-hmm.
One of them.
Figure it out.
Yeah, like I have a 3D printer. I did a 3D printer project.
You have a MakerBot or?
I have two actually now. I have a MakerBot replicator, and then I bought a Robo because it was like a Kickstarter. I'm a sucker for a Kickstarter.
Really?
Yeah, because I like entrepreneurship. I like to help people that are starting a business. Yeah. So I bought a Robo. How's
it work?
I use the MakerBot more. Okay. Neither one works well.
Either one?
Neither.
Really?
No.
What is it?
It just makes spaghetti. Like you set the thing up. And then you get up in the middle of, it takes hours. First of all, the things they don't show you about 3D printers is these parts take like 12 hours to make. Mm-hmm. And then when they're all full of like support structure. Mm-hmm. Like they always have a picture of this is my warning to you folks at home. They show a picture of a 3D printer and it has this gorgeous part on there. That's not how it comes out. Like it comes out and there's all these support pieces and then you got to use an X-Acto knife and then trim it all. And then the people stick it back in the 3D printer and take a picture of it. But in reality, the 3D printers don't know. Everyone knows how they work. They melt plastic and it's like icing, and they make a layer and then another layer, another layer, another layer. What happens is that there's some flaw in the system, like it sputters or spits, or the part shifts because as it cools and heats, it expands, and sometimes it'll pop off the table. If it moves, that printer keeps spitting out plastic as it moves all night long. So you'll wake up the next morning and you'll look at the thing and it'll just be like this huge mound of spaghetti. And then it's melted all over the hot print head. So then you gotta take it apart and put it in acetone and clean it. It is a royal pain in the butt, and it does not work well. Like it's at this point, I think my MakerBot prints. Maybe there's some maintenance I need to do or something, but it seemed like it never really worked all that well.
Really?
And I'll do like 4 or 5 prints to get one part. And then 4 or 5 12-hour long prints.
See, the ones here don't take that long.
I was about to say, how are the ones
It all
here?
depends on how big the part is.
They're
probably printing small things, but if you want to print something good size, it's a lot of time.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
and then
we saw newer things like this.
Yeah, you can make, like I had the Cub Scouts over and we made neckerchief slides.
I remember those. Yeah. I was a Cub Scout.
So we made those and we printed 6 neckerchief slides, 6 individually on the platen and then printed up in like an hour. We made cookies and they were done. Mm-hmm. But if you want to make a big part with all the structure inside, it takes a long time. And then as the layer size gets smaller, so the part has more detail, it takes even longer to print.
Now that one that we have in there that prints in liquid, that's what we use it for, is detail.
Super details.
If you look at it, there's a rook in there. And if you look inside the rook, there's a double helix and staircase going up inside of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it came out looking like that. Yeah. So there's no supports or anything.
Yeah, no support needed because it floats.
Yeah, because it floats.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, that is pretty neat, but even slower.
Yeah, it's super slow.
Yeah.
That thing is really slow.
Yeah, so there's a point when it's cool, but it's not a production product. No. Yeah, you're not making production parts with 3D.
No. There's a couple of board game designers that will use it here, but the laser cutter is far more efficient to make
pieces. Sex toy designers use it.
Yes, you do it. You had a website before that. I believe it was called the Einstein.
No. There's Sigmund Freud.
The Sigmund Freud.
So I did when they first came out. I figured people would use this PriveCo.
Yeah.
I figured people would print sex toys with them, and they do.
Do they really?
Yeah, and I run the website that has all the designs. It's called Maker Love.
Your own.
Maker Love.
Yeah. It's like free download designs.
I went to it.
Yeah. It's
when it first came out, I went to it.
It's very straightforward. And you don't
Very
have
cool.
to sign up or give your personal information. You just right-click the file and boom.
Just like PriveCo.
Yeah, just like PriveCo. Except you don't pay anything.
Do you use Thingiverse at all?
Yeah, I have a Thingiverse account, yeah.
Yeah.
What I make, I was thing of the day one day. I made some, my kids were going to the fair, and my daughter was too short for the ride. She was like 41 and a half inches, and you'd be 42. So I whipped up some shoe lifts for her shoes. So, like
That's a
plastic
good
wedges.
Best dad
Stuck them
award
in her
right here.
shoes, and then put them on there. And there's a picture of her. Like, I made this stupid, like, before and after photo, like, and she's cute. So it's like thing of the day.
That's very cool.
Yeah, what else I make up? I was trying to make things that were shop and private-y, like I made a back scratcher. Like it prints out in 3 pieces and then you glue it together. It's like a really nice back scratcher. It's got a nice curve to the handle.
That's
You can
cool.
scratch your back.
Yeah, no, there's some cool things on Thingiverse.
I like Thingiverse. Yeah, but again, 12 hours to print it.
So you're like a maker yourself.
Yeah, I love to make things. Yeah.
Are you headed to Maker Faire next month? I think it's next month.
I try. I take my kids down. Remember they had that swing where you swing and the water stops?
Yeah.
I put my kid on it and he fell off one year.
Oh, really?
So I'm famous. I like that stopped the whole thing.
What you talking about is the water chases you, right?
No, it stops when you're going to be underneath.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so when you're at the apex of your
brilliant.
swing, it stops, and so by the time you get down to the bottom of it, there's no water. But then as soon as
It
you pass
times it right. It knows how fast you're going.
That's
It
right.
times it.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Apparently
and
not safe,
it was
though.
so cool that I wanted to put my when he was 5 on there. And they're like, "Can he swing?" And I was like, "Yeah, he swings all the time." And he got so excited he let go and fell. So fast. God, he was hurt too. He went for a hell of a tumble.
That's what happens with these kids and their internet not going outside and playing enough. I was an expert swinger when I was 5 years old.
No, you weren't. You were inside your house. I know the story.
Nope.
Yeah.
I did. People got off my party line. I did the long jumps.
Your
I could
party
swing
line?
backwards. Yeah, when you're on a party line, we swing at the same time as someone else. You're like, get off my party line. Back when there were party lines back in the day.
Now a kid wouldn't even know what a party line is.
Right?
Well, even before that, the party line was actually a phone line.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
someone
that's
else swinging the
saying-
same time as you. That's where it came from.
That's
Someone's
saying,
on your party line.
Oh, yeah,
Get off
okay.
my party line.
I gotcha.
Educating Lucas.
Yeah.
I knew the party line. I just didn't know.
Yeah, Maker
I didn't have friends as
I would
kids.
love to display there or something, but I don't have stupid things. You do all these things, you don't have time for that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah. They contacted, I think someone said they were looking for speakers, so I was trying to see if they wanted to help.
I'm supposed to say Maker Faire is July 25th to 26th.
There you go.
And we should be there if Corey does his job.
You know what else I have coming up? I speak at business schools sometimes, and I have my own, someone's giving me my own business class.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, it's at Build Detroit.
You've taught before though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've taught a few times.
Because I almost took one of your classes.
It's
just because
good.
you were
My class
teaching
is
it.
good. I'm very braggadocious, but it's a fun.
No, it's okay. I am too.
It's it doesn't exist. Like what I do, it's called Biz Plan Boot Camp. It's at Build Detroit, which is like this in the city of Detroit
Yeah,
thing to
I've
get
been
that
part of
course
it.
going. Yeah. So this is like they have their long course where it's a bunch of weeks and a couple of $1,000, I think, or something.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also have speakers come in, and I come in and in 2 hours I'll teach you everything there is to know about like putting a business plan together, which is figuring out if your business will succeed or not.
We need that because we just became a company in January.
Yeah, you should come. It's cheap too. It's if you're not a Build graduate, it's like $55. If you went through the whole Build process, it's $40. It's one night stand. It is June 6th, I think. It's a Thursday night.
Okay.
And you can sign up. I think it's filling up fast, but if it sells out, they're going to do it maybe on a quarterly basis.
Cool.
But I did it. There's a place called Paper Street that used to be up here.
Yep, familiar.
Andy DeRossi's place. I did it there a couple of times. Sort of the similar
Paper
class.
Street's not around though anymore, right?
No, now it's 8 and Sand in Hamtramck. Yeah, and so and I go at Oakland University. I've spoken, and I've spoken at the Build Detroit thing.
You've done TED.
I've also
Have you done
seen
TED yet?
I did the TED Talk.
Yeah, so you did a TED
but it
Talk.
wasn't about the business plan boot camp. It was
No.
about the Mower Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But come out if you're watching the show and you have any interest in starting a business and you're just mulling the idea over in your head. Is this a good idea? I don't know how to tell if it's a good idea. I mean, my mom thinks it's a good idea, but my brother, who's always jealous of me, thinks it's a bad idea. So, where do I go from here?
Can we throw an idea of a business at you and you can tell if it's okay or not? Like right away.
Yeah. But I'm going to give you the warning,
Okay.
which is I'm an expert at putting the plan for ideas together. But I'm not your customer market.
Okay.
Right? That's one of the things about the plan is.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I love to talk.
I'm
I love to talk
gonna
about
throw something at you right
Yeah.
here. I've had an idea, and I call it Cityscape Apparel. And what I want to do is I want to take like these really epic pictures of Detroit and then just other cityscapes, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, whatever. And I want to take a portion of that picture and put it on a shirt. And then I want the tagline to be like, be a part of your city. Where that way, if you stand in like the exact right spot, someone takes a picture of you wearing your shirt will blend into the background of where you're standing. And it's like the iconic piece. So like the spirit of Detroit, something like that. Do you think that could be a thing?
I don't know. That sounds like it would be cool on Instagram and Facebook, where you'd show the picture of the people. Yep. That would be pretty sweet.
That's what I would market to, the Instagrammers.
What's stopping you? Well, first of all, I like the idea. I like a lot of parts of the idea because there's no cost to start this business. I mean, literally, you could have this done by the end of next week if you wanted to, right? You could print. Actually, you're at I3 Detroit. You could print out a shirt somehow.
Those are our shirts. We have a deal with our company with.
Well, somewhere in here, I'm sure there's a machine that prints shirts.
Yeah, one at a time.
Yeah. All he needs is one.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Go down, take the picture, back down to the location when you print your shirt, stand there, have someone snap the photo. If it doesn't look right, like you want to make some changes, have your buddy make the changes in Photoshop first so you get it done.
Well, I had an idea.
And then, boom, you're done.
I had an idea for the commercial where it shows just all sorts of different people that are kind of standing, and they're standing in a way that you can't really tell what's on the shirt or not. And then they just kind of like turn towards the camera, just the right angle at just the right time, so that they just kind of like...
Ooh, dramatic.
Yeah, like from like the roof of a parking structure getting to like the Fisher building,
Well, I think you're getting... See, now this is what this class will help you with is because you've got this one part of your business idea and you're thinking vertically right now. Yes. You're thinking all about the product. Yeah. Right? You got the product idea. Good. There's 8 pillars, by the way. Okay. So you got that. Product is good. You probably even know like what you charge for it and how you'd make it and everything. So you got kind of that. Now you're also got this marketing piece, like how I'm going to market this thing. But you're deep into this marketing thing, like what the exact commercial would look like and all that sort of stuff. But you need to be thinking about who's going to buy it, when are they going to wear it, like what's the financial plan for the business? What would it take to start this business? Who's going to work on it? Who are you going to get to sell these things? Who's going to call the stores to buy them and all of that? So there's all these pieces up here that still need a little attention. You need to kind of drive all 8 pieces down the road at the same pace. You can't go all into product or all into marketing.
But this is what this business class is going to teach people.
Yeah, it teaches you what the 8 things are. Just the fact that I list the 8 things in the class opens half the eyes in the place.
It took us 2 years, I believe, to get to I guess to what you call your 8 pillars.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing this is our 3rd season.
Yeah.
So we started just 2 guys and nobody.
Yeah.
And we had to find people to answer those questions.
Yeah, that's like, there's one of the pillars, one of the things is like the personnel plan, like who does all this stuff,
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be, like for your first show, it was like, we do all this stuff.
Yeah,
like,
until it got too big.
You press record and then you come around.
Ran over here.
We did that.
And then you edited the video and put it online, And that's good. But my advice to a lot of people is a lot of it is like the research and the customer side of it. People struggle on 2 areas usually. Well, 3. The financial plan oftentimes can be a struggle. But for your business, there's no, like starting a t-shirt company doesn't cost a lot of money. Then there's the customer business, like who's going to buy it? Who's going to actually take the money out of their wallet and buy it? And then there's oftentimes people struggle with the sales portion of it because you can't just make a website to sell these things. You gotta someone's got to call the stores and get the product in and do this trade show and that sort of stuff, or whatever it happens to be, the publicity and all that, calling the newspaper. But my advice to a lot of people is, well, why don't you just start it and see if anybody's interested? If you can't sell it to your mom and your uncle, nobody's gonna buy it.
It's true.
So. And if you have the wherewithal to make the first one and just to have a good photograph of it, you can put it up on Facebook and say, is this a good idea? Who wants to buy a shirt like this? And if no one says, and you could limit to who gets to see it, make it private and only show it to friends, not friends of friends, and even make a limited list. At least you got some feedback onto like whether it's going to move forward.
Very cool.
Yeah. One of the warnings of the class, of course, is very honest. I'm very honest about these things. One of the warnings of the class is, don't buy yourself a $15,000 a year full-time job, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people go into business and they spend their entire life savings, right, in creating this company. and then they realize that it doesn't make enough money to hire people to do the work so that person can live their life anymore. So and that's the warning I have with this. A lot of people say do what you love and you'll be happy. But in reality, there's a lot of people out there that own bike shops because they loved bikes and now they're miserable and they hate bikes.
I agree. Right?
So it's just one of those things. Like next door here is this meadery place. Now I don't know the guy. I've never even been there. But that seems like the type of business where 10 years from now, that guy might be looking around thinking, like, wow, I have to make another fucking pot of meat, you know? It's just one of those businesses. It's not, maybe he hits it. Maybe he has meat to sell to the world, you know, and he's the place to buy meat, and it turns into this big place like Garden Fresh Salsa, which is also right over here. That guy used to buy his salsa when he was selling it at a Clubhouse Barbecue. His brother owned a barbecue place, and he sold the salsa in a cooler there. And it was the best. It was as good as it then as it was today. It was great salsa. And he's turned himself into, he's found this business. Everybody loves his salsa, and it makes sense.
His guacamole is good too.
Oh, the whole thing. The chips.
Delicious.
The hummus. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's got good taste. But salsa is a big product. It was a big plan. Whereas some products, meat, I'm not sure. And sometimes
could be a little too niche.
The cheaper it gets, and the nichier it gets, and the more local it gets, the tougher and tougher and tougher that business gets to be. Yeah.
He's in a niche market right now. Where
he's actually probably a bad example. I think he's probably more successful, but
he's cornered his market in the local area.
Yeah,
and he has a lot of young people.
You can bottle it and sell it.
The question is when they age out, what happens?
There's a guy who just started like a moped shop in Detroit.
Is it
right? Ted.
Yeah, it's a little garage.
Yeah.
Do not drive a moped.
It's like that. You couldn't get a narrower market than that. I mean, I hope he has a day job, and that's like his thing he does at night. But they don't make new mopeds anymore, so he's basically has to buy used mopeds and make them nicer.
They don't make new mopeds?
I don't think I don't think that's what he's doing. He's like doing custom mopeds.
Oh wow!
But they're mopeds by nature, so you can't make a $10,000 moped, and you got to start with a $300 one to make a $900 one. That's a lot of work, Like that's a bad business plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, by the time you make one a month, you're just paying the rent.
So where can we find more information about your class?
I think it's on Build Detroit's website.
Detroit. So we'll have our producer put up a lower third here where Build Detroit's website is. Check it out. Tom Nardone. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Anything else would you like to plug or say?
That's it.
Please.
Absolutely no. It's been fun.
Okay, the Mower Gang.
You've done
Bullet
so much.
Safe. I'm about to say PriveCo. TED Talk. You're all over the place, and it's been amazing having you on the show.
It feels like there's no thread that goes through this.
I'm just old, so it just
covered
much 16
older than
years
us.
of my life right
You
there.
have to be like 5 years older than me.
No, I'm 46. No, I'm 40. What year is it? 2000. I'm 45.
2015.
I'm 45.
Okay, I'm about 10 years
45. Yeah,
okay.
So I've done a lot of work. I stay busy. I like to work.
Well, it shows you're doing some amazing
very
stuff.
Cool.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Really appreciate it. You want to see more of our videos, you can go ahead and go to the VoxVii YouTube channel. We have all sorts of cool guests like Tom, and we have
what
sponsored by Go Girl. Don't take life sitting down.
Go Girl.
This has been The Rack Show, Season 3, Episode 8. Lucas, am I cutting you off?
Check out our Mother's Day video. Check out our Mother's Day video. We had a little funny prank that we pulled on Conrad this morning.
I was cranky too, so...
He was cranky.
It was
and
great.
we videoed it. Yeah. He wasn't expecting it. So, check it out. It's on our Facebook. You can go check that out at therackshow.com where we happen to do everything.
But for Lucas, I'm Conrad. Thank you again, Tom. This has been Season 3, Episode 8 of The Rack Show. VoxVii YouTube channel, VoxVii.com. The Rack Show, all one word, on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook. Like us, follow us, hang out with us. We'll talk to you next time.
Peace, guys.
Hit me.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Want a comic book in a piece of plastic.
Right now is Blood Money. One of 4 comics that you have out there right now, published comics, or?
It's 8 publications.
Okay, well,
since 2013.
Didn't mean to cut your publications in half. I apologize.
No, it's okay.
Kelly,
Gilroy?
Yes, Guillory.
Guillory! Oh, so close. Oh,
she's a comic book
I'm not
illustrator
a worry.
and the owner of, let me see, Asher Collective?
The
That's
Asher
right.
Collective.
The Asher Collective.
I like when people say that. The Asher Collective. It's
I
really
say
cool.
the Asher Collective because it's an awesome name.